All right, what's up, guys? Happy Saturday, March 28th. We've got a ton of games on today. We've got a ton of baseball already started. We've got hockey on at the moment, and then obviously we've got some NBA as well. So we're going to be going over some plays, of course, like always. Appreciate you guys tuning in. And if you guys do have any questions, let me know. Like always, because I'm limited over on Underdog, if you guys do have promos over there, let me know what those promos are, and I can try and actually get a slip together for you guys. All right. So we're going to start off over on Prize Picks, just kind of go down the list and see what sort of value that we have. Prize Picks doesn't look to have too much value, at least pre-game stuff right now. Underdog should have a good amount, though. So we can start building out slips over there. And like I said, we'll move over to, Pick Six, Better. We'll look at all those apps. Let's see here. Yeah, we got a ton of value right now. So we're going to start over on Underdog. First leg, we're going to roll with Walter Clayton Jr. under 18.5 for his PRA. This is a great prop right now. The line is at 16.5 on several major sports books. Leg number 2, we're going to go with Jalen Johnson under 35.5 points and rebounds. And then we're also going to add another Hawks player in here with CJ McCollum under 8.5 rebounds and assists. Then we're going to go over to the Bulls game to take Isaac Okoro under 16.5 PRA. Let's go back over to the Grizzlies game. We're going to look at Prosper under 23.5 PRA. And then finally, we're going to go take DeMar DeRozan over 25.5 PRA. All right. So we'll start that off with a little 6-pick flex. You guys can add your boost on it if you have one. If not, you can still run that slip because it is still positive EV. If you guys are curious what I'm using right now, this is the Fantasy Optimizer from OddsJam. It's pretty much my go-to tool on a daily basis, whether I'm on stream or off stream. It's just what I use to craft my slips. So we'll be going over a ton of the OddsJam tools today on stream like we usually do. And if you guys do want to check out OddsJam, you can get 35% off using code Trident. All right, so that slip that we just got in is going to be a 16.63% positive EV play. I'm going to go over that one more time for those of you guys who are over on TikTok. That Jalen pick's not hitting. Listen, I'm the person that knows the most about Jalen Johnson unders not hitting. It feels like every time I take him under, whether it's points, assists, PRA, it never hits. But there's good value in it right now, so we're going to take it. That 6th leg that we just got in is going to be Walter Clayton Jr. under 18.5 PRA. We're taking the under points and rebounds at 35.5 for Jalen Johnson. Also have the under 8.5 rebounds and assists for CJ McCollum. Under 16.5 PRA for Isaac Okoro. Under 23.5 PRA for Prosper. And then the over 25.5 PRA for DeMar DeRozan. So that'll be the first 6th leg that we run. Connor, we just checked out Prize Picks, and there's like no value over there at the moment. So we're starting off over on Underdog. That'll be the first slip that we get in. I do want to see what sort of sharp money is coming in. I need to get this Trevor Moore play over on Hard Rock soon. Same with this play for Trevor Zegras. Let's see. Do we have any Underdog coming in? Doesn't look like it at the moment. I've not done DraftKings Pick 6 just yet. We're kind of just going down the line with all of the apps. So I checked Prize Picks. There wasn't any value over there, so we went over to Underdog, which that's what we are currently crafting slips for. Let's see. This is an interesting prop here. Jalen Johnson hates when I play his unders. Yeah. I honestly think that so far this NBA season, if there's one person that I would say has missed the most for us, it's probably Jalen Johnson. Because for whatever reason, it feels like his unders, whatever market or whatever prop category it is, they are always somewhere on the board for, a positive EV play or even a sharp money play. And it almost never hits. I think 2 days ago was the first time in a while where I actually might have actually been the first time this season that I took his over on PRA because there was value on it. And he cleared it by like the end of the third quarter. So it's kind of funny when that happens. But We're going to head over to Better. So if you guys want to head over to Better, we do have some value over here. First leg, I'm going to look for this under 4 rebounds for Devin Booker. All right, Devin Booker under 4 rebounds versus Utah tonight. Leg number 2, we're going to go over to the NHL to take Alex Laferriere. Hopefully that's how you pronounce that. On the Kings, over 2.5 shots on goal. All right, that's leg number 2. Leg number 3, we're going to go take Kyle Connor, over 3 shots on goal for the Winnipeg Jets. Leg number 4, we're going to go back over to the NBA to take Leonard Miller, over PRA at 21.5. That'll be versus the Grizzlies. And then the final leg that we're going to lock in here, we're going to go take Jock Landale, under rebounds at 8.5. All right, so that'll be a 5-pick flex. There should be a profit boost over there. I believe I've already used mine. So if you guys do have a profit boost over on Better, then you guys can go ahead and lock that in. Let's go ahead and get this sent out to the Discord. If you guys are brand new here to the stream, make sure you drop a follow if you are enjoying it so far. And also, if you guys do want to get into the Discord, it is free to join. That'll be located in the link in bio, or you guys can go to tridentdfs.com. All right, so that got sent out to the Discord. Once again, this is a 5-pick flex that we are playing on Better. We're taking Devin Booker, under 4 rebounds. We have Alex Laferriere, over 2.5 shots on goal on the Kings. We have over 3 shots on goal for Kyle Connor. We're taking the over 21.5 PRA for Leonard Miller. And then finally, the under rebounds at 8.5 for Jock Landale. All right. That's over on Better. If you guys are not already on Better, you guys can sign up with code Trident as well. Get yourself a nice little sweat-free play or whatever the promo is at the moment. Underdog limited you to $75 a day. Yeah, that blows, dude. I think that honestly they're getting a lot stricter about who's making money on their app, because whenever they made the change with the payouts, it's so much easier to make money on Underdog now that there's probably a lot more people that are profiting off of them, therefore being limited quicker. You know, because like for me, it was like a week after they made the change that they decided to limit my account. Do you think it's worth playing the $10 protected picks on Sleeper, considering if you lose, you can only use the return funds on negative EV plays? So it's a good question, Gabe. So for me personally, I'm not as like, you know, I don't know, turned on by like the $10 pick. Not necessarily from that standpoint, but just like $10 is much smaller than my half unit or full unit size. So like, because there is limited value, it's like, I don't want to say a waste of time, but it's like, it's harder for me to focus on that. However, the main thing that I've been doing, like I've been sending out a couple of sleeper picks that are just straight up, just 2 picks that get sent out as an official play. And I've been really just like pulling them from the low hold tool basically, and just doing a direct comparison to, you know, either FanDuel or these other exchange markets, like to see where there's money coming in on Novig or ProfitX. So I know that's the biggest question when it comes to Sleeper, because we all know that Sleeper doesn't have value, right? There's not a ton of value on Sleeper, but we're able to create positive EV slips through the profit boost that they give us. So that's kind of one of the things is like, okay, well, we're using all of our profit boosts, and then when we're cashing those profit boosts, now we have a ton of promo funds that we have to play through before we withdraw. So that's pretty much the process of what I'm doing right now. So to answer your question, it's kind of like, for me personally, I would prefer to not play those and still prioritize the profit boost, because the profit boosts are going to be better than the $10, you know, sweat-free picks. And if you were to play it, it's just more promo funds that you have to inevitably play through, you know? So let's go back over to Better and see if we have any more value over here. If anyone else did not get that in, by the way, this was a 5-pick flex on Better. Devin Booker, under 4 rebounds. We took Laferriere, under or over 2.5 shots on goal. Kyle Connor, over 3 shots on goal. Leonard Miller, over 21.5 PRA. And then Jock Landale, under 8.5 rebounds. All right, we should have enough value here for one more slip, by the way. So we're going to take a look at this and see if we can get in one more 5-pick flex. All right, so leg number 1, we're going to look at this Corey Kispert, over 1.5 3-pointers made. All right, that'll be leg number 1. Leg number 2, let's go ahead and take this under 16.5 points and rebounds for Iguodaro on the Suns. And then leg number 3, let's go grab this prop down here. Rob Dillingham, under 3.5 assists. Let's go over to the MLB to take Kyle Manzardo, over 0.5 hits. And then finally, we're going to take Miguel Rojas, under 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs. Okay? So that'll be another 5-pick flex. It's going to pay out 10x our money. I'm going to go over that one more time after we get this sent out to the Discord. All the links and all the previous plays that we've gone over will be located in the Discord as well. All right, it's a little bit easier to just direct you guys over there, so that way you can get it in with those links instead of, you know, having to go over everything once again. So we've got Corey Kispert over 1.5 3-pointers made. We're taking Iguodaro under 16.5 points and rebounds. Rob Dillingham under 3.5 assists. Then we have the under 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs for Miguel Rojas, and the over 0.5 hits for Kyle Manzardo. All right. Good stuff there. All right, let's keep it moving. Let's go over to, let's see, what does Dabble have? Not a lot of stuff on Dabble. Let's go over to Pick 6. Let's try to get some Pick 6 plays in. If Pinnacle is minus 150 and I get it for minus 120, is that good? I wouldn't just use one single data point, and I mean, it's a kind of a vague question. If like the market has, like if you were to look at Pinnacle, DraftKings, FanDuel, all that stuff, and they average about minus 150, and you're getting it at minus 120, then I would say yes, that's a good play, because you're getting about 30 cents of value on it. We have these stat slices over on Pick 6, and I've used either one or two of them already, and I'm a little bit like hesitant to continue using them just because, you know, it's like at a certain point you're kind of just forcing value because we don't really see much college basketball value anyways, and I'm pretty much just running 6 picks with them, like not just pairing them up for, you know, 3 picks, because college basketball pays a little bit different. So like I don't want to run these for a 5x payout. It's kind of a waste of a promo, you know. What about the free squares? Don't they only pay in bonus funds? Possibly. I don't know. And the thing is, it's like also with the free squares, like if I were to like rank the promos on Sleeper, profit boosts are going to be number 1. Free squares are going to probably be number 2, and then like the $10 protected play is going to be bottom of the line, because like think about it this way, okay? With a $10 protected play, you still have to pick props from the board, right? So your slip is still going to be negative EV, even though you're going to get your money back. Whereas with a free square, you are essentially boosting the positive EV of the whole slip, you know, by having such a discounted line. So I would still use the free squares if there are decent options on the board. Rangers Philly near perfect game. What's the score over there? Because I've have the under 7.5. Is it still 3-0? Yeah, it is. Bottom of the 9th. 3-0. This Athletics game is in the 11th inning right now, tied. Wow. I need the Red Sox to freaking fight, dude. I've got their money line versus the Reds. Sonny Gray looked absolutely terrible. Anyways, let's try to get something in for DraftKings Pick 6. I'm going to look at NBA first. I really don't like that you can't mix leagues. It's really annoying, but it is what it is. All right, so leg number 1 here. Let's go over to the Suns game. We're going to take Devin Booker under points and rebounds at 31.5. All right, under 31.5 points and rebounds for Devin Booker. You guys see that minus 144 price point over on FanDuel. Leg number 2, we're going to go over to the Grizzlies game, and I'm going to take this Cedric Coward prop. All right, it's under 24.5 PRA We see FanDuel has it at 23.5, pretty much an even line here as well. So I like that there's the line discrepancy there. And then finally, let's see if we can get one more here. Okay, so FanDuel likes the unders here on Cedric Coward. I don't want to go down too far. That's the thing. Like, I need to wait for something to pull up. Is there a Kalshi play on the insider tool? We'll take a look at the insider tool in just a second. We could take a live play here. I wouldn't mind that at all. Let's see what we have here. Let me take this Rudy Gobert prop. So if you guys want to take this live with me, we're taking Devin Booker under 31.5 points and rebounds, Cedric Coward under 24.5 PRA. And then this third leg that we're going to take here, we're going under 13.5 rebounds for Rudy Gobert. All right, so you guys can see that price is at minus 154 live right now on FanDuel. And honestly, one of the best things with Pick 6 is that if you are directly comparing to FanDuel, you're going to get a lot of value live. So like on those slates that you guys have where there are, 6 or 7 games on at once, there's going to be a lot of value, which I've had a ton of success on those nights specifically, taking live value off of FanDuel, right? And I don't mean going to look at it, manually. I mean pulling up an optimizer, looking at the FanDuel line, and just continuously refreshing it every 5 to 10 seconds. So that'll be a play that we just got in there with Booker under 31.5 points and rebounds, Cedric Coward under PRA at 24.5, and then Rudy Gobert under 13.5 rebounds. All right. Pick 6 is mid. They lock all the good picks. I would argue that Pick 6 is, honestly, for me personally, Pick 6 is by far the best app. Now, I would say that Underdog has the better odds, but number one, I'm limited on Underdog. And number two, Pick 6, being able to win that extra purple because of the pool play, peer-to-peer, makes it so worth it. It's so nice. Let's go take a look at that the insider tool real quick and see if we have anything on the board. Let me go take this actually. Am I still logged in over here? Let's go over to this UFC play. If you guys are on Hard Rock, I am on Israel Adesanya money line tonight. Had an insider take it at, I don't know exactly what the price point was, but I know I have money on it. But I'm going to also take this under 3.5 total rounds for the fight. You guys can see there's over $5,000 of liquidity of this over on Novig. So I'm going to go ahead and track that. Plus 105 if you guys have Hard Rock and you can get that in. Or I guess if you also have access to Caesars has that at plus 105. That's pretty much the other only other major sportsbook that has it. As Bet Rivers as well. But under 3.5 total rounds for the Adesanya fight tonight. Gonna go ahead and get that in. And let's take a look at the insider tool. All right, so real quick, if you guys don't know what this is, it's pretty much a brand new tool that OddsJam dropped. And what this does is it allows us to track profitable traders on Polymarket and Kalshi, and it'll tell us what the insider ROI percentage is, how much they've put down, how much of that is what percentage of a normal bet size it is for them, which is pretty nice as well. So we got a ton of options on the board. There you guys can see that Adesanya money line. The reason why I took this, obviously, you can see that this is 5 times more than this person's normal bet size. They've got almost a 7% ROI, which is pretty good, obviously. If you guys do want to take a live bet right now, looks like Mets money line is still up. I know I'm on this from earlier, but if you guys are over on Kalshi, which I know someone in the over on the Twitch asked about it, but Mets money line at 60 cents is a pretty good play right here. This specific insider has over 18,000 trades made, and almost a 10% ROI, which is pretty nice. And you guys can see that it's over their normal bet size as well. So if you do want to get in on that, that is available for you. We got a ton of options here. A lot of these are going to be ones that are either in play or I've already locked in. So there's no point in me, going over them unless you guys want to. But I am on Arizona -6.5 tonight. I'm also on the Red Wings money line. And the reason why I don't want to just tell you guys exactly what I'm on is because the price point matters a lot. And I know if you guys have been in here a lot, you'll understand what I mean by that. But it's not just about the plays. I could not care any less about the actual plays that I'm taking. It's all about the price, right? So whatever the price that you guys see here. So for example, Red Wings money line at 55 cents, right? Okay, well, how does that translate into American odds? Well, OddsJam has a calculator for you, so you can just plug it in. So 55 comes out to -122. So if you guys can get Red Wings money line at -122 or better, that is a good play. All right. So again, this Red Wings play is going to be somebody with over 2,000 trades, almost a 10% ROI. This is 6.8 times more than their usual bet size. This is a good play to tail, right? That's all it is. It's nothing. There's no math behind it in terms of finding out where there are line discrepancies or mispriced lines, similar to what we do on Prize Picks and Underdog. This is specifically saying, hey, these people are extremely profitable. You can quite literally just tail them, and you will also make money. So I think that's pretty cool because with OddsJam, I've got access to all of these different tools, whether it's the insider tool, whether we're looking at, sharp money, we can look at positive EV for sportsbooks and for DFS as well. All right. So let's go back over to the Fantasy Optimizer. I want to take a look at Rebet Prop City. All right. I'm going to look at Prop City real quick. So let's go to pre-match. Let's get 4 data points over here. What inning is that Mets game in? This is the bottom of the 9th. Perfect. Jorge Polanco, Luis Robert, and Brett Beatty. We'll see if the Mets can walk it off here. That'd be pretty nice. Oh my gosh. Bro, the Rangers better not sell this game. Dolis Garcia dropped, foul, pop, error. 1-run double. Wow. Well, Brandon Marsh is up right now for the Phillies. They got 2 runners in scoring position with 2 outs. What did you play on Jalen Green? I can't see, bro. This is literally the Prize Picks homepage. I did not take this prop, if that's what you're referring to. It's just a green screen. All right. This is a pretty good prop here. We're going to go over to Rebet. Run a couple of these Prop City 2 legs. All right. So this will be for tonight's game between Purdue and Arizona. We're going to take Trey Kaufman-Renn at over 17.5 points. All right. Over 17.5 points for Trey Kaufman-Renn. Now, this is going to be at, let's see. It's going to be at +122, and you guys can see these other data points here. Have it closer to, -105 or -115. Obviously, it's over here on Prize Picks and Better, just at an even line. So for their best price, it's going to be -118 or -119. So we're going to take this as leg number 1. So Trey Kaufman-Renn over 17.5 points at +122. And then let's run it with this other prop here for NHL. We're going to run Dylan Guenther over shots on goal. He's going to be on the Utah Mammoth. All right, Dylan Guenther over 3.5 shots on goal. All right, that's going to come out to a +425 parlay. You guys can put half a unit on it. You can put a quarter of a unit, whatever you guys want. And remember, if you guys are over on Rebet, you guys can just follow my username. So that way, whenever I do play a Prop City parlay, you guys can just copy it. So you don't have to go looking for the props yourself. All right, so this is going to be a +425 parlay. This is a 10% positive EV slip. So once again, we're taking the over 17.5 points for Trey Kaufman-Renn. And we're pairing that with Dylan Guenther over 3.5 shots on goal. +425. Beautiful. All right. Let's move on to the next one. Let's see what else we have on the board. Let's see. Caravan. Let's go down. We're going to go over here to this Golden Knights shots on goal prop. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to take the over 1.5 shots on goal for... Where is it at? Rasmus Andersson. That's where we're going. Okay, minus 130 for Rasmus Andersson. This line is between minus 150 and minus 160 everywhere else. And we're getting it at minus 130 here on Prop City. So Rasmus Andersson over 1.5 shots on goal. And then we're going to pair this with Mike Yastrzemski over 0.5 hits. It's going to be on the Atlanta Braves. So over 0.5 hits for Mike Yastrzemski at minus 130 as well. So that's going to come out to a plus 213 parlay. Pretty good. All right. Plus 213. And once again, if you guys do want to put half unit on that, that's probably what I would recommend there. All right. Rebet Prop City. Wow, the Phillies just tied the game. I don't believe that. I had under 7.5 and Rangers money line. There's no way. Wow. That is brutal. Anyways, plus 213 on this. So once again, we're taking Yastrzemski to get a hit, and then we're also taking the over 1.5 shots on goal for Rasmus Andersson as a 4.6% positive EV play. I need to see what's going on here, dude. This is ridiculous. I can't believe that that just happened. Is Adesanya the play today? Yeah, I have Adesanya. Let me see what I have him at. I don't remember what price I got in at. I got in at 58 cents. I'm pretty sure it's at like 55 cents right now. So you're probably getting a better price than me if you're over on Polymarket. Novig probably has a similar price point as well. Let's see. What was I going to look at? Like, how in the world did I lose this, dude? I actually don't believe that. I need the Rangers to drive in 1 run and then for the Phillies to not score with a runner on second. That's brutal. What a weird way to... There was literally zero... Weren't there 0 runners on with 2 outs? Yeah. Bottom of the 9th, 2 outs. Alec Boehm gets a single. Sosa gets walked. And then Garcia with a 1-run double. Marsh with a 2-run single. That's unreal. Wow. Okay. Oh, is that what happened? A dropped foul ball? That's lovely. That is lovely. Any value on underdog? Yeah, we already got some plays in over on underdog. Let me take another look to see. I know that, people probably want prize picks as well. Let's take a look here. All right, we're going to build another slip on underdog. All right, so first leg, I'm going to take the under 10.5 points for Patrick Williams. Then we're going to go over to college basketball to take Terrace Reed on UConn, under 9.5 rebounds. We're going to take Gigi Jackson, over 17.5 points. Let's go ahead and take Josh Giddey, under 29.5 for his points and rebounds. We're going to take CJ Kaifas, over 0.5 hits, runs, and RBIs, which they've bumped, so we're not going to take that. Let's look at Dylan Cardwell, over 12.5 PRA. And then final leg, we're going to go Kyle Filipowski, over 23.5 PRA. Beautiful. So that'll be another 25x. And I'll go ahead and repeat that once we get it sent out to the Discord, of course. So that way you guys can get it in over on TikTok. 25x on Underdog. All right, so leg number 1 here, just to go over that one more time. Taking Patrick Williams under 10.5 points. We've got Terrace Reed under 9.5 rebounds. Taking GG Jackson over 17.5 points. We have Josh Giddey under points and rebounds at 29.5. We're taking Dylan Cardwell over 12.5 PRA. And then finally, Kyle Filipowski over 23.5 PRA. All right, so that's another Underdog slip for today. Like I said, if you guys have a boost, you guys can apply it there if you would like. Let's see, what are the Rangers doing? Oh, a single from Langford. All right. So I don't even know what I need here. Probably a strikeout, a sac fly, and maybe another strikeout, hopefully. All right. Let's see. What should we do now? Would I take Philly money? What does that mean? Philly money line, I assume? Are we talking about the Phillies that are playing right now? Prize picks? Yeah, let me look at prize picks. We haven't gotten a slip in for that just yet. Prize picks does not have any value right now. It's crazy. Prize picks is so dry. Prize picks pisses me off because they now, the only thing that they are leading the industry in is marketing. That's it. They don't have the best payouts. They don't offer the best props. Dude, I mean, what sucks is that they can get away with it because people will still play on their app because they were first, you know. It's annoying. It's so annoying. NBA, LOL, they're losing against Hornets. I want to take Philly to win. What just happened? Wild pitch, 4-3 Rangers. Okay. Let's look. Let's see if there's any sort of inside play for Philly. Let's see. Still need the Mets. Also going into extra innings right now. Yeah, I wouldn't take anything live right now. Seager strikes out swinging. All right. Jake Berger, who already has hit a home run. And then Old Man McCutchen. Let's get a couple of outs here going against Duran. Yeah, prize picks is a little frustrating, dude. There's literally no value. And I know that's what you guys want. I'm trying to give you guys what you want. There's literally no value on prize picks. And I'm not making that up either. There it is. There's nothing. Let's go check out Better again to see if there's anything over here. Oh, come on. That's a strike. What do you guys think about the new ABS system? I feel like at this point, just get rid of the umps. It's hard. I'm kind of in a place where it's kind of hard because I know that umpires is a part of the game of baseball. But when you have guys like freaking, what's the dude's name? CB, that stands behind home plate and literally is getting every pitch challenge because he blows at being an umpire. That's ruining the game more than an electronic umpire, in my opinion. Especially in this new age where everyone is trying to make money on sports and you have umpires who are screwing people over, you know. Let it just be pitcher and the batter. And then that's when you have people argue about oh, well, that's why it's important to have a good catcher because they can frame things. It's I know, but what are you going to do, you know? What's my favorite app to use? Right now it's Pick 6. Underdog has the best payouts, but I'm limited. So pick six is definitely my number one right now. Better is also going to be up there. But I say it a lot, prize picks is bottom of the totem pole. Like literally just terrible. All right. Sorry, I'm sweating out this play that I have because I have two different plays on this game. Finally, Jake Burger gets struck out. Now we got old man McCutcheon up to the plate. This dude's got to be like 45, man. Like, I actually want to know how old he is. If he's still batting, 250, then like, good for him. But I mean, man, this guy's got to be older than dirt. Prize Picks is the best thing ever I've ever found. Well, that's unfortunately a terrible take. I know that's an opinionated thing, but Prize Picks is terrible for various reasons. Umps can be biased, cameras can't. Yeah, exactly. McCutcheon's 39. Yeah, I don't believe that. McCutcheon's like 43 minimum. Has to be. All right, what do we want to look at now? Better doesn't have enough for us to get something in. Do you guys want to just keep ripping these pick six like live plays? We can look at these some more. Come on, Duran. Find the zone, bro. Find the zone. I don't know. Are you guys like on the side of like you want the umpires there or you want the challenge system, or do you want no umpire at all? Because I feel like they pretty much shortened the games by adding the pitch clock and all of that, but now it's like, okay, well, if you add the challenge systems back in, then it's going to extend the games again. But then you also have like, I think the reason why I brought up the one umpire, because it's like, if you have people who are continuously missing calls, like, oh my gosh, McCutcheon, what the heck, bro? He just drove in another run. So chalk the under 7.5. I don't even remember how much I had on that. I think I have more on Rangers money line, which is good. Let me check this real quick. No, but what I was saying is like, because you're now extending the games, but now it's like limited. You have a limited amount of challenges, so it's kind of hard, Because if you want to have the challenges there, I feel like the teams should be able to challenge as many times as they want, especially if the calls are that bad. But let me try and figure out how much I have on these freaking Rangers, bro. Okay, so I've only got $200 on the Rangers. How much do I have on this under though? Yeah, that blows. I had 325 on the under. Dang it, dude. Well, at least now we have a little bit of cushion here. 5-3. Unless, I don't even know who's due up for the Phillies, bro. It's probably like Schwarber. He's going to hit a 2-run bomb right off rip. It's brutal. Brutal. Is anyone limited on pick six? I don't think that... So, like, this is another reason why I believe pick six is like good, because I don't personally know exactly how everything works behind the scenes for pick six, but because it is pool play, meaning it's like peer-to-peer, like true peer-to-peer, where like I believe the way it works is like everybody enters a pool, pick six gets their rake, like a certain percentage, and then things get distributed. So like there wouldn't be any point to actually limiting people. I don't think so, at least. But that's also a good question because I don't understand why I get limited on Underdog when Underdog is supposed to operate in the same fashion. Now, I don't know if I've seen people win as much as I've seen other people on pick six with the purple, but it doesn't make sense to be limited if you're getting funds out of a pool where Underdog already gets their stake, Why doesn't everyone copy like pick six exactly? I don't know. I really don't know. I'm also not sure exactly how profitable the pick six product is for DraftKings. But again, this isn't like a standalone product. Like pick six is part of the overall company of DraftKings, so it might not be as big of an issue as like, Prize Picks or Underdog, who are like their own companies. I don't know. That's a good question, but I'm not really sure. Like personally, I would say yeah, everybody should model their apps or their companies off of what Pick Six is doing, because right now what they have right now is perfect. I love it, because there's nothing better than locking in a positive EV slip with potential to earn even more. That's like the best thing ever, especially with how many, the stat slices and the profit boost that they give out. It's very nice. Yeah, Prize Picks can freaking learn a thing or two from pretty much every other app in the industry. All right, let me take a look at this. We're going to use DGF here, because I'd like to use this to look at FanDuel specifically. All right. Pick Six model is good for us. Prize Picks model is good for them. Yeah. Yep. And the thing is like I said, like there's no call for change, because all of the casuals still love Prize Picks, because it's like they're flashy with the marketing and with the celebrities and stuff that they're partnering with. It's just it's funny. For your normal person who focuses on positive EV, everyone can understand that Prize Picks sucks. And not to mention the fact that it's MLB season and they still have correlation nerfed. That's another thing. It's like, okay, what are you going to allow? You're never going to have profitable people on your app at all if that's what you do. What's the best app just in general? It's Underdog. Underdog has the best payouts. Okay? Right now, Underdog is 1, Pick Six is 2, and Better is 3. Those are my top 3 right now. Right now, those are my top 3. Holy cow. Are we going to get this in? Let me see if I can get this in real quick. I'm trying to get the Kings spread. We're going to see if we can get the Kings spread in here. All right. Let's see. Let's pull this up here. All right. So we got 25 grand that just came in on Kings plus 13.5. So we're going to try and take this over on UWager. Plus 13.5 at minus 105. So if you guys can get it in at minus 108 or better, this will be a good play to take. Nice. All right, so it's that easy, guys. A lot of you guys will hear me talk about this before, but like typically what I will do whenever there are games on or around this time of the night, I typically will just keep like the sharp money tool up. I'll also have the prediction insider tool up, and I'll just rip plays, because whenever there's money that comes in, what the sharp money tool is essentially telling us is the liquidity that is available for that specific prop and that specific price point. So we're trying to get the plays in before the liquidity is gone, because then it's not going to be on the tool. So that's just typically my process. That's what I like to do. So like I said, if you guys can get in Kings plus 13.5 at minus 108 or better, that'll be a pretty good play. All right. Bottom of the 10th. My goodness. Phillies already have a hit by pitch. Who is due up? We have Trey Turner, Schwarber, and Bryce Harper. I just know I'm about to get my heart just ripped out by a Schwarber 2 or 3 run bomb to chalk Rangers money line for me. It feels very inevitable at the moment. So who do you guys have for tonight? Because I'm on Arizona minus 6.5. What's the other game that's on right now? Iowa and what is it, Illinois? I don't think I have a play for that. I'm shocked right now that Illinois is not winning. I feel like they should win this game, but I don't think I have a play on that. How long does it take for payout to hit your account from Prize Picks? I'm really not sure. I think Prize Picks is pretty fast in the industry. Maybe that's the only positive thing they've got going for them. How to look at liquidity with positive EV. So with positive EV or positive expected value, typically what I like to do when it comes to like sleeper preferably is sleeper is not going to have a lot of good props when it comes to just strictly positive EV. You know, they're not going to have a lot of good positive EV props, or in other words, their price point looked against FanDuel or DraftKings or BetMGM, they're not going to be beating the market average, right? So what I like to do when it comes for liquidity, I like to look at this low hold tool, which is going to tell me like, hey, there is $300 of liquidity available here on Novig that is supposed to be on this under 18.5 PRA for Clifford, right? So that's when we kind of get into like when we're crafting up sleeper slips, I like to say, hey, I'd like to see at least a few $100s of liquidity here. And then we kind of leverage that as a semi-sharp money. You know, the exchange markets are going to be a really good data point. That's typically what I like to do. I like to look at FanDuel first, then I like to look at the exchange markets, and then those other major sports books, DraftKings, BetMGM, Caesars, Pinnacle, that sort of stuff. Okay? Because remember, a lot of the people who are on exchange markets are on there because they've been limited on sports books. With exchange markets, it's straight peer-to-peer. There's no limitations. So that's why that's a good data point. You took Iowa money line. You know, I'll probably sit here on this. Insiders tool. You know, because if I have this running, it's going to pull up any plays, even if they're live. So if something comes in on this game, I'll probably take it if it makes sense for me to. But if not, I'm probably just keep riding with the other prop that I have, which is Arizona -6.5. Pretty sure there was also a pretty large wager placed on Arizona money line from one of the insiders on here. 2-2 to Schwarber. Bottom of the 10th. I need to be sweating this out as well. What's the play here? Marcus Semien, are you going to drive in and run for me? I need the Mets to walk this thing off. I need the Red Sox to do something too. If this says in-play runs, I'm going to be pissed, bro. Because we've got Schwarber. We have Schwarber under RBIs in one of our season-long plays. 2-2 to Schwarber. High liquidity is good or low liquidity? High liquidity. All right. So the only time that I would say low liquidity is good is when you're trying to build out a parlay or a straight play on Novig or ProfitX directly. Because what will happen is that, like, if I were to open up the positive EV tool, right? And if we're looking at positive EV here, you're going to notice that we've got like, let's go. Schwarber just got struck out. Awesome. So like, for instance here, this prop over on Novig is 8% positive EV. Malik Monk over 2.5 3-pointers made. It just changed. Let's see if we can find another one. Here's one. All right. Jalen Johnson. My goodness. Everything's getting eaten up as I'm trying to click it. We'll take another one here, for example. All right. So 4.5% positive EV on Royce O'Neal under 9.5 points at plus 105. Now, you'll notice that it's plus 105 here, average odds of minus 121 on the under. Low liquidity is good to not then go take this prop because it has only $46 of liquidity. So I can go eat that $46 if I'd like and get a nice positive EV play. Now, if I were to see a prop such as this, which isn't that much, my goodness, Bryce Harper, please tell me you did not just hit a bomb. No, but he drove in a run. Hopefully just one. Now, because this is a one of those main markets, 1.6K isn't a ton of money on this. However, if you were to see like a player prop that has $1,000 of liquidity, I would stay away from it because that's typically signaling to me like, hey, there is a sharp bettor that has that money on there. Does that make sense? Like, low liquidity is good when you are playing positive EV plays on Novig or ProfitX directly. High liquidity is good when you are leveraging it to find positive EV plays elsewhere. Does that make sense? Hopefully that makes sense. Alec Boehm is up right now with 2 outs. The last time he was up with 2 outs was in the bottom of the 9th inning. And then now we're here. So I don't really like this spot here, but hopefully Alexander can get a K or something here. Hopefully. All right, what else are we looking at? We don't really have a ton of pre-match stuff on the board right now. You know what? Let's look at this real quick over on Pick 6. Let's see if we can get this in. So I'm going to go over to the Hawks versus Kings game. I'm going to take Malik Monk over 14.5 points. This is minus 162 on FanDuel. We're also going to take the under 30.5 PRA for Buzelis in the Bulls versus Grizzlies game. All right, under 30.5. And then the final leg here, let's go ahead and snag this under PRA for Jalen Johnson, and hopefully we don't regret it. This is at 43.5 on a couple other books, including FanDuel. So that's what I'm going to run. So once again, this is a 6x little 3-pick power over on DraftKings pick 6, taking Malik Monk over 14.5 points. Also taking the under 45.5 PRA for Jalen Johnson. And then we are taking the under PRA for Buzelis at 30.5. All right. Good value there. Good value. 2-1 to Alec Boehm. Iowa and Illinois at the half. 4-point lead for Iowa. Yeah, Jalen Johnson's probably going to clear this in his first half. I'm joking, but Mets tied it up. Oh my gosh, this is beautiful. Surely the Mets win this game, right? Surely the Mets win this. The bases are loaded with no outs, and it's tied right now. And the Red Sox, oh my gosh, Abreu with a solo homer to tie it up. That's beautiful. All right, 3-2 to Alec Boehm. Can we strike him out or get the final out here so the Rangers money line will at least cash for me? Please. That is a huge sequence of events there. If Rangers money line is cashed, Mets money line is cashed, Alec Boehm is out. So cash Rangers money line. Mets should be able to walk this off. And hopefully, at a very minimum, we have Red Sox and the Reds going into extra innings. That would be beautiful. That would be beautiful. Do you think Melo will get 28 points and assists and Jalen Green 29 points and assists? What platform are you looking at? What app or platform are you looking at? I didn't even think. Do we have any sort of promos over on Sleeper other than their protected picks? No, we do not. We have a boost on Tatis. And we have a boost on Braden Burries. On Sleeper, yeah, I don't even have to look at that to tell you that that is a terrible play. Definitely don't take that. Need an underdog streak play? You need a streak starter or a streak extender? Red Wings to win and everything is all sunshine and rainbows. Yeah, if Red Wings win, listen, let me just tell you guys what I have right now for tonight. If you want to know. I have a lot pending right now. I have Bulls money line, Red Wings money line, Adesanya money line, Pistons money line, which is actually a huge bet that I have. They're up 14 points right now, which is great. Marlins money line cashed. I have Brewers money line, which just started. Mariners money line. Red Sox money line. Arizona minus 6.5. Mets money line. Yankees money line. Braves money line. Rangers money line, which also just cashed. Astros money line. And then another UFC fighter. Kyle Nelson, who's an underdog, but I sprinkled him. And those are all from the Insider tool. So hopefully I get to post a little graph about how today went over the last 24 hours. But yeah. All right, you need a streak extender. Let me take a look at this for you, see if there's a decent prop on the board. So remember, in order to be profitable long-term with underdog streaks, you have to have a break-even percentage of 53.3%. So I have a great prop for you, actually, if it's still on the board. Cedric Coward under 23.5 PRA. Okay? Cedric Coward under 23.5 PRA. This is at 20.5 on BetMGM. You have two other major books, including FanDuel, that have it at 22.5. And all in all, this is a 58.59% chance to hit, which is well above the 53.3% line. If that's bumped, you can also take Corey Kispert under PRA at 18.5. You get some good options here. Usually I would tell you not to force anything, but at a 58%, that's a pretty good prop. Pretty good prop. Cedric's at 23.5. Yeah, take the under there. Under PRA at 23.5. It's a really good prop. I'm a little worried that the Mets don't say that they've won here just yet. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. How does that happen? How does that happen? If the Mets lose this game, guys, how does that happen? Oh, we have Cedric Coward at 24.5. That's beautiful. That's really good value then. What if he goes over in a blowout? So I don't do any sort of like speculation about blowouts and stuff. I'm just letting you know where there's value. So like the 23.5 line right now on Underdog is the best play on the board based off of comparison to other sports books. So for anyone who just missed what just happened, the Mets are tied 1-1, bottom of the 10th inning. Bases are loaded with 0 outs, and they just grounded into a force out, grounded into another force out, and then Bo Bichette with the game on the line gets out, of course. If they lose this game, that would be, I don't know, man. Like, can you imagine the odds on Pirates money line in that moment? Bases loaded, 0 outs. That's ridiculous. Ugh. What a disgusting way to lose Mets money line. Wow. Wow. All right, bottom of the 9th, 2 outs. Red Sox and Reds. Marte's up versus Aroldis Chapman. Let's see what happens here. Murakami hit a home run yesterday, didn't he? 1 for 2 with a home run. I think they walked him twice. Yep. Yankees just started. Braves and Royals just started. Awesome. Beautiful. Well, we kind of need something to go our way here, I guess. Why would he go under? What are you asking about? Why would who go under? Are we talking about Cedric Coward? Is this about Cedric Coward? Why would Cedric Coward go under? Well, let me explain it if that's who he's referring to. Okay? And this goes for any player, not just Cedric. Okay? What we do here on these streams and what I've done now for several years to make me profitable on apps like Prize Picks, on apps like Underdog, on apps like Better. Okay? And that should mean something considering there's probably 2% of people who are actually profitable long term on those apps. All I'm doing is what's known as positive EV or positive expected value, okay? So what does that mean? All I'm doing is I'm looking at the multi-billion-dollar companies that are sports books like DraftKings, like FanDuel, like BetMGM, right? Who have models and whatever it is that is in place to craft these perfect lines, right? You ever open up your app and see that you got hooked or you won by 0.5? There's a reason for that. It's because these companies are good at making lines. That doesn't mean that they are 100% going to be right there on the money, but the majority of the time they are relatively close to where these players are going to perform, okay? So what I do is I look for line discrepancies and mispriced lines, meaning if Cedric Coward is available in Underdog at 23.5 and FanDuel and Caesars and BetMGM have him at 22.5 or 21.5, okay? There is value there on the under 23.5 on Underdog. That's all it is, because there is a line discrepancy. Same reason if I were to look here to see, let's go over here to the Patrick Williams prop, under 10.5 points on Underdog, okay? It's minus 152 on FanDuel, so there's mispriced lines there because obviously if we're taking this in a 2-pick or on a 6-pick, We're getting implied odds of about minus 115. Okay. And we're getting it at minus 152 over on FanDuel. And then you look here and we have other sports books like DraftKings, BetMGM, Caesars that have the line at 9.5. All right. So it's a good prop to take. Now, the reason why that might sound crazy is because you'll scroll to another live stream here on TikTok, or somebody else will look, on Twitter, on YouTube, on Twitch, wherever, and you have people who claim to be cappers, and then they make their own projections, or they look at previous trends, or they look at how people match up against other people, and they think that that's going to make them profitable long term, and it's not. It's a very easy way to get beat. Okay, because previous games do not matter. They do not affect the current game that is taking place. And the question I always like to ask people who have this type of questions, right, is, okay, that's fine that you think that, right? But do you not realize that the books, the sports books that make these lines also have access to the same information as you, okay? Perfect example there. Yes, Pritchard dropped 30 points the other night when I had his under 19, okay? All we're doing here is trying to have a win rate on these DFS apps for us to be profitable long term. Okay, so I might hit 60% of my props on these DFS apps. That's going to be very profitable long term. It's not 100%, it's not 90%, it's not 80%. Okay, but a lot of the people who are taking these plays are not even hitting their props at a 50% rate. Okay, so if you guys see the percentage here on the screen, right? These percentages in the green. Specifically, once you get down here to 53.5% on underdog for 2-pick parlays, that is the break-even point in order for you to be profitable long term. You have to hit your props on an individual prop basis at that percentage, okay? And I'm not talking about in a day or in a week or in a month. I'm talking about long term, right? When you look over several months or even years, right? You have to be hitting that break-even point in order to have a positive ROI long term, okay? So the Jalen Green pick 3.5 over for assist is bad. Are you talking about the one that's behind me right now? I hope you didn't take that. Another thing, if you guys are just now tuning in, okay? These little demon props or the goblins, do not take those, okay? This is why people think that PrizePicks is great, because they're like, I can get a payout boost, I can get an easy prop into my slip. Do not take those props, okay? There is not value on them, okay? If you were to compare payouts on the demons or the goblins to literally almost any sports book, you're getting scammed. I've literally made videos about this because you are getting scammed by taking them. Oh my gosh, the Mets are gonna freaking make me lose my mind. How is this even? What just happened here? Was this a bunt? It wasn't a bunt. What happened here? An infield single? Is that what I'm looking at? Oh my gosh. 2-1. Pirates. Thanks for explaining. You're welcome, dude. That's all I'm trying to do here. That's what these lives are for. It's to help people I'm trying to educate people, because there's too many, like, it almost comes off as like just trolling to me, but there's too many people who will come into the live and they'll say something about what I'm talking about. They're like, oh, this guy doesn't know what he's talking about. And then they'll go scroll past me, and then they'll go listen to some dude talk for 45 minutes about how he has 2 locks and that they're guaranteed to hit. And the reasoning behind it is, oh, so-and-so has hit this in 12 out of his last 14 games. Okay, what are these cherry-picked stats? Like, you'll see somebody who say, like, dude, the last 10 times he's worn a white jersey, he's gone over this specific prop. What is with that? Like, all you're doing is cherry-picking stats to go along with your narrative because you believe that you have something, that you think that somebody's gonna, do something, that you have a projection for them. Like, it's ridiculous. So hopefully, I'm very appreciative for the people who actually come in here and listen to it, because it's education that you guys really do need if you want to make money off of this, or else you'll keep finding yourself depositing into PrizePicks or depositing into Underdog. Okay, we're not talking about a small. Like a small discrepancy here between 52% of people are not profitable and 48% of people are. No, we're talking about 2 to 3% of people who are profitable long term. So the majority of people you see on your feed are not winners. I promise you. Okay. Can I give you a parlay on Underdog? Yeah, I'm sitting here on underdog right now. We already got in a few on the stream. There's a lot of value on the board for just kings and hawks, which I don't really like. Don't want to be running singular game here. I'm going to wait a second, and then we might be able to get something in. Atlanta is out of challenges in the bottom of the first inning. So somebody help me with this. What is the max amount of challenges? How many does each team get? Because I don't know. I don't know yet. Pirates are up 2-1. They got runners on the corners. Top of the 11th, 2 outs. This is ridiculous, bro. Ridiculous. 2 for the whole game. That needs to be fixed, bro. That should be corrected by literally the end of this week. 2 challenges for the whole game. Do you know how many missed calls I've seen before? Man. 2 per game per team. That's ridiculous. Oh, so it's like the challenges like for NFL. So you have 2. If you're right, you get a retain. And if you miss, you lose it. Yeah. Do I have a 2-man or a 4-man I can lock in? On what platform? 4-mans you probably shouldn't be running on any platform. 2-mans definitely are a no on Prize Picks at least. Prize Picks, 2-mans are not profitable. I don't care what anybody says. They're not profitable. Okay? If you are profitable on 2-mans on parlays or on Prize Picks, you are either extremely lucky or you are focusing on a short-term period, a small sample size. Okay. How many legs should you run with underdog? Good question. So underdog with their new payout system, with 2 legs being 3.5x, 2 legs are by far the best payout. Now 6 legs are a close second. They're pretty much the same as the 3-leg parlays. So honestly, if you are on underdog, I have no issue with you running 2 legs, 3 legs, or 6-leg parlays. All right, and that would be a 3-pick power, 6-pick flex. Okay, so a 2-pick power paying out 3.5x, a 3-pick power paying out 6.5x, and then the 6-leg flex paying out 25x. Do I use Kalshi? Yes, I do. I use Kalshi for tailing insiders, for positive EV while live, and then for arbitrage as well. Those are 3 very good ways to use Kalshi. With Prize Picks, you should be running 5 picks or 6-pick flexes. There are very rare occurrences where you have enough value for a 3-pick power, just because Prize Picks does not allow for that kind of value. You should never be running 2-pick powers on Prize Picks. The only time to be running 2-pick powers on Prize Picks is usually on an error that will most likely get refunded. Because anytime Prize Picks slips up and gives you guys good value, they'll refund the whole slip. They've literally done that 1,000 times for me. It's hilarious. Like, take some accountability, realize you made a mistake, and let it ride out. Because it's just ridiculous. All right, Mets, bottom of the 11th. I need a walk-off 2-run bomb here. Please. This is ridiculous. A 2-man for underdog. Let's see what we have on the board. Yeah, Kalshi is extremely easy to make money on, by the way. All right, here's your 2-leg on underdog. Ready? Ready for this? We're going to take Zachary over on the Hawks. Zachary. Uh-oh. Can I spell? Zachary on the Hawks. My goodness, bro. Can't click anything. Zachary under 4.5 rebounds. Too zoomed in here. Under 4.5 rebounds. And then I'm going to take the under 3.5. Oh, I can't. Same game. Let's take the... Goodness, dude. All right, give it a second. There's a ton of value here on this game, but once we add 2 picks from the same game, it nerfs our payout. So we kind of have to wait for a second. I guess if you haven't already taken Terrace Reed under rebounds, you can take that under 9.5 rebounds and pair it with that. All right. Should the plan here to be to sack bunt, get a runner on third, and then hopefully Robert can hit a sack fly? That would be beautiful. Oh, excuse me. Come on, Mets. Come on, Mets. Let's get something here on the board. I'm going to pull up the insider tool real quick. Some sharp money. What is Kalshi? It is not an exchange market. It's a prediction market, just like Polymarket. It's just another like peer-to-peer. Essentially, it's pretty much picking up a lot of steam because I think it's available almost everywhere. Which, by the way, if you guys are not on Kalshi, you guys can actually use my code. I totally forgot. I actually have a partnership with them. So if you guys want to sign up using code Trident, I believe you get some free cash you can start trading with. But yeah, they're essentially, I believe, available in almost all states, and there are sports available. There's like politics and stuff that you can wager money on. So Brewers up 3, awesome, good to know. Let's see if the Red Sox can do something as well. Roman Anthony, Trevor Story, and then Duran. Yeah, Red Sox should win this game if they can put up a run here. I already know what's about to happen here. We got Luis Robert up with 0 outs. Runners on first and second. I'm assuming we're going to have a ground out into a double play here, most likely. If you guys are enjoying the live, make sure you guys drop a follow or subscribe wherever you guys are watching. Would greatly appreciate it. Appreciate all you guys who are in here. Yes, I do have a Discord. It is free to join. You guys can go to the link in bio, or you guys can go to the go to tridentdfs.com. Mets are scoring runs, but I don't know how many because it's not telling me how far this ball went. Oh my gosh, he walked it off with a homer. Luis Robert finally did something. Oh my goodness. Mets walk it off. Cash Mets money line. That is huge. Let's see if Roman Anthony can follow that up with another homer. That would be awesome. Shout out to the Mets. Shout out to quite literally the last person on the team that I thought would do something. But yeah, as I was saying, guys, there is a Discord. The Discord's pretty much broken up into 3 different parts. So we have a free section. I can guarantee you guys will make money long term by tailing the plays that get sent out to the free section. And if you guys want to make money off of that and then use your profits to join the elite tier, that'll give you access to all of the slips that I post along with our other mods. Unlike other Discords where it's like, oh, this moderator is good with this specific sport. We all do positive EV, we all do sharp money, all that stuff. It's essentially just like, hey, if I'm busy, I know that they will be sending out plays if there's value on the board. So that's available there for the elite tier. And then we also have a platinum tier. That's essentially coaching / mentorship, something that I just introduced this year because I've had a few people reach out to me that said, hey, I want to learn how to do what you do and try and make money like as a full-time thing off of it. So that's what that's there for. So that's for me to walk through with you guys based off of your specific bankroll, where you live in terms of like what state you're in, what you have access to, and how you guys can be making money off of sports. Am I watching 76ers versus Hornets? I'm not. I can see what's going on over there. Hornets are on a 19-4 run. Wow. Come on, Red Sox. Can we freaking do something, please? Pistons money line is looking beautiful right now. 19-point lead in the fourth quarter over the Timberwolves. I locked that in last night. That pulled up for me on the insider tool. Let me refresh this and see if there's another good play to add to that. Under 4.5 boards. You can go take Walter Clayton Jr. over 7.5 rebounds and assists. You can take that. It's a good, decent 2-man. a decent 2-man for sure. I want to take this prop. What is this? Arosa? Log in again. Are we for real, bro? I'm gonna go lock in another UFC prop. What is this? Arosa versus Douglas. Over 1.5 total rounds. Plus 130. Nice. Yeah, UFC I'm not limited on yet, which is good. Hockey I'm kind of limited on. NBA is disgusting. I can't play NBA on Hard Rock. Which, this will be my daily message to everyone. If you have access to Hard Rock, please hammer NBA. They have the softest lines literally anywhere, okay? Do I use Picket? Yeah, I use Picket. If you guys don't know what Picket is, it's essentially a platform where you guys can sync up your sports books. Or Prize Picks, all the apps and stuff, and it'll track your plays. So if you guys do want to get signed up, I believe if you sign up with code Trident, you get up to $100 completely free. 100% for free. It's a free app to download. You get the app, you sign up, use the code, and it'll say, hey, here's X amount of money for free. And then I believe they Venmo it to you, which is super nice. But yeah, you guys should definitely be tracking your bets, whether that is on the sports books or on Prize Picks or whatever. Because, if you're getting a lot of volume in, it's not very easy to just keep things in track in your head. Yeah, I use Picket. I also use the bet tracker here with OddsJam down here. Pretty easy for me to just say like, hey, what I just did. Like, okay, I want to take this specific play, put how much I put on it, the odd price, and then track it. All right, we've been live for almost an hour and a half now. We got more games on. If anyone has any questions before we hop off stream, please ask them now, so I can answer them. I do go live pretty much every single day. I know tomorrow is a Sunday, which is typically the one day that I don't always go live on. So we may or may not be live tomorrow. Make sure you guys do drop a follow, though, if you have not dropped one already. Get in the Discord if you guys want to make some money. And I don't say that just jokingly. I'm saying that for real. If you do want to get in the Discord, it's free to join. You guys will 100% make money off of the plays that we send out. And if you guys do have any further questions, there is a support ticket that you guys can open in the Discord where you can talk to myself or one of the mods about any concerns that you have, or anything that you need to know. Is the Kyle Nelson Insider Play still good? Let me take a look at it real quick to see if it's still up. Yeah, so I sprinkled this, but as you guys see here, this is somebody who made over 4,000 trades with over an 11% ROI. It's a small bet for them, which this is something that I've talked about before. I don't mind it being only 0.1x of their normal bet size because Kyle Nelson is the underdog here. So it makes a little bit of sense to have less than a normal unit size on this. You're actually getting this at a slightly better price than what this insider got in at. So 38 cents. If you're able to get in Kyle Nelson money line at plus 163 or better, meaning in the direction toward plus 200, then yeah, it's a good play to take. But anyways, make sure you guys hop in the Discord. Make sure you guys drop a follow, and I will possibly see you guys tomorrow. If not, I will see you guys on Monday. All right, good luck with everyone's bets today, and I will see you guys then. Peace out.